Boxing fans around the world have seen their fair share of bad decisions, split calls, and controversial scorecards, but nothing compares to what happened on June 9, 2012, in the cavernous MGM Grand Garden Arena in Las Vegas. One of the most shocking verdicts in the history of combat sports was announced, and the boxing world erupted in outrage. A man who landed more punches, controlled the ring for most of the fight, and injured his opponent was somehow denied victory. This wasn't a close call. This was a split decision that rewrote boxing headlines, angered millions of fans, and forced an entire sport to take a hard look at its integrity. This is the story of Manny Pacquiao versus Timothy Bradley, the greatest judging robbery in boxing history. Manny "Pac-Man" Pacquiao was the biggest superstar in boxing. He was on a 15-fight unbeaten streak, dominating elite fighters across multiple weight classes and cementing his status as one of the greatest of all time. Timothy Bradley, on the other hand, was a rising, undefeated challenger who many experts felt was skilled, but not in the same elite tier as Pacquiao. When these two warriors finally stood across from each other in the ring, the expectation wasn't just another fight. It was a passing of the torch moment, or possibly one last validation of Pacquiao's supremacy. Millions tuned in worldwide, eager for a historic night. From round one, Pacquiao came out with fire in his eyes, jumping on Bradley with his signature explosive combinations. It was Pacquiao who dictated the pace, landed clean combinations, and forced Bradley onto the back foot. By the midpoint of the fight, Pacquiao had connected on more than twice as many punches, including power shots that visibly rocked Bradley, moments in which many ringside observers thought the referee could have stepped in. Throughout the fight, CompuBox statistics told a staggering story. Pacquiao landed 253 punches compared to Bradley's 159, and Pacquiao outlanded Bradley in 10 of the 12 rounds, according to many unofficial scorecards. HBO's unofficial judge, Harold Letterman, and multiple media outlets had Pacquiao winning by wide margins. The Associated Press scored the fight 117 to 111 for Pacquiao. Even a special review panel of 5 recognized judges later scored the fight in Pacquiao's favor when they watched the tape, but the official scorecards told a completely different story. When the final bell rang, the crowd expected the obvious. Instead, the announcement sent shockwaves around the sport. 2 judges, Dwayne Ford and C.J. Ross, surprisingly scored the bout 115-113 for Bradley, while only one judge sided with Pacquiao at 115-113. That meant Timothy Bradley, who threw fewer punches and landed far fewer clean shots, was declared the winner by split decision. The reaction was immediate. Boos rained down from the sold-out arena. Social media exploded with disbelief and anger. Commentators called the decision absurd, ridiculous, and a death knell for boxing. Even Pacquiao himself, stunned but composed, said simply he did his best, but it wasn't enough. Bob Arum, the legendary promoter who worked with both fighters, could hardly contain his shock. He publicly said he had the fight scored 118 to 110 for Pacquiao, and described the decision as something that should bring shame to the sport. Some observers theorized that the decision was influenced by bizarre judging tendencies, scoring inconsistencies, or even the economics and politics of boxing. Whatever the reason, fans weren't just upset, they were enraged. The controversy didn't fade after the fight. The WBO actually convened a special 5-judge panel that watched the fight on video, and all 5 scored it for Pacquiao. Yet the official result could not be overturned by WBO rules. This fueled calls for reforms in judging and greater accountability in the sport. Some even suggested creating a federal boxing commission to oversee judge appointments and integrity, exposing how deeply fans distrusted the existing system. For Pacquiao, the loss marked the end of a historic unbeaten run, but also set the stage for one of the most meaningful revenge fights in history. In their rematch 2 years later, Pacquiao dominated and left no doubt, winning a convincing unanimous decision that finally answered any lingering questions about who was the better fighter. But that first night in Las Vegas will forever remain a stain, a moment when fans felt the judges may have robbed one of boxing's greatest heroes on one of his biggest nights.